I want to show you an example of how I lay out and present my logo. If it's for a client or even if it's on my portfolio, I'll do it this way, and it's going to really help you and make you look professional, as well as help you practice. So when you get, better and you get clients, and then you can use this. So you can see here, I've just done this template. I'm using my logo and my brand colors here. So you always want to keep it consistent. And then the same with the typography as well. And I'm clearly laid out the concept and which project we're working on, as you can see there. And I'm just going to go through this. I'm only showing the one concept that we worked in this class, but usually sometimes I have like 3 to 4 concepts that I'll lay out, and always pick the best ones that are going to work for their target audience and to the briefs. So sometimes you might have heaps of concepts. It doesn't mean you have to show them all. You just show the best ones that will most likely work. So you can see here, I'll start off showing a bit of a mood board. You can see I got my details down here, just some information stating what's on this board or this artboard. So you can see, because it was like space camp, I thought of like tent and a rocket ship, astronauts, and you can even see I got some scout badges here just to get some idea on shapes and form. And I went for some color palettes by building it from some live videos, photos from like NASA and stars and nebulas and stuff, which is pretty handy. And then I decided to go for like a negative marker look, as you can see here, using negative space. So this just gets a bit of a mood board that you can show. Even you don't have to show it to your client, but you can keep it for yourself if you don't want to show it. But it really helps you start to visualize what direction you're going to go in. And then you can see I start to lay out my logos. I'll put it on using the colors, the final colors that we'll probably most likely use. Show it on a dark background, a light background to show contrast, as well as the vertical format. Also, I like to show the mark by itself and even the typography. And you can see sometimes I add some numbers there just so if the client likes a certain direction, they can say, oh, I like number 3 or whatever. And then it's like, okay, so we're going to adapt those concepts and ideas from that one and then work on it for the next round. Then you can see here I'm showing it in horizontal, and then just showing the icon in maybe a few other variations. So this is just a quick way of just showing those ideas that we worked on. And yeah, but you can obviously make it much more extensive and show it in a better light. But I want to show it in some mock-ups now. As you can see here, always show your logo in context. You want to keep it simple, and you want to make sure that the client can actually visualize the logo being used in real life. So that's why I'll try and get some mock-ups in. These ones are just vector t-shirts that you can just make up using the pen tool. Very simple, but very impactful because you can see the logo on how it's going to look on a t-shirt, which is pretty handy. You can do Photoshop mock-ups as well, or you can do it in vector form, doesn't really matter. And it's going to help that client and help them see what direction it's going to take. So you see that, and then I went on and worked on like a business card. Just keeping it consistent. You can see the logo and the colors are consistent, the typography, everything that the logo consists of, and that expands into every other aspect of the brand and all those other elements. So you want to make sure that it all works together. And then once again, because we live in a digital world, and maybe this client has a website, maybe it's a login or a membership site where students can log in and they can learn about space and all that type of stuff. It could be a school program, anything like that. So you can see here how I showed, did a quick mock-up, just got a free mock-up online, and then just put that on the screens there, and it really starts to show how it's going to be used, and it's going to help overall your professionalism and increasing the value of the project, so the client can actually see this is worth the investment.